boys. Let's remember our training. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends. We are some hippies, these are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
We're the Professional Hippies, and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
We like to bridge the gap between hippie woo-woo and high achieving professionals. Coming off a couple amazing episodes. I think our last few episodes are some of my favorite, but I feel like I'm saying that every single week.
It's been good. Right back to back. We've had some amazing guests on, like great content, great people to get to know. The connections we're making with them too as well has been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So it's cool. It's like, it's an opportunity to get to network with people that otherwise normally you wouldn't really have an opportunity to network with, right? So I love that. And, there was like a really pertinent, hey, you wanted to do a drawing now?
You want to do it now? Yeah, sure.
I kind of feel like I want to do it now.
We could do the drawing now.
Cool. So if you didn't tune in to any of our other episodes, well, check it out. Here's kind of a cool thing. We're about to do a drawing for a magical butter machine. And Dylon, you want to tell people how amazing this little device is?
Man, this is one of the coolest things we've gotten to see, as far as like what you could use it for. We had on our last guest, the microdosing coach. She was using it for her recipe in order to provide her clients a great concoction that's simple and delicious and helpful for her and her clients in what she does. And then, of course, we had Chris come on, and I mean, they were taking it across the country and making everything imaginable and serving it outside of their traveling dispensary. So, like, I don't know. I'm sure they went off the rails with the type of stuff they can make, but I was looking up too a lot of stuff. You can actually use it also for like fitness concoctions that you want to make with it. If you want to put certain vitamins and things together, proteins and things together in order to make what you want with it. Like it's your own like little chemistry lab for what you want to make to put everything together for the good stuff,
For the good stuff.
For the good stuff. And get creative with
so
it. Better
this
than
little thing just makes life so much easier when it comes to making edibles, and they're the premier brand to go to. So, we're in the works of figuring out what it looks like, but
when your significant other or, your kids are yelling at you, the whole place smells like pot. And you're like, I know, but we got to do it. This is, you got to do what you got to do. This is a way to help with that. Get down that smell, get down the time that it takes to do all of it. Just takes away complete pain of doing all of it.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like my shower, but hey, we'll get to that in a minute. So, listen, if you wanted to be a part of this, but you weren't.
Too late.
Dylan, can I get a womp womp? Do you have the womp womp button over there?
Which one is it?
I
like that one too.
Okay. All right, fair enough. What you can do next time is get involved. So basically with what we're doing with our drawings, hey man, I'm talking a lot. Let's go ahead and spin this thing.
Spin it, baby.
And can you hear that? Glenn, you want to do a Zoom in?
It's spinning.
Who won? Who won, Glenn? Who won, dog?
No one could see.
John Lindy.
John Lindy. Good job, buddy. No one can see it because it's all blurry.
What do you want me to do, man? I'm living in the metaverse.
This is what happens when you get in the metaverse. I can't see through the portal.
Because I'm fucking John Cena, man. Get off my dick.
That's right. Well, we can't see it. But what we can see is that John Lindy won. Congratulations.
John Lindy, guess what, dude? You got a mega surprise coming. I mean, it's not going to be a surprise because we have to find out what your address is. But you got a mega hookup coming your way, dog. That's the show. And, hey, for kicks and giggles, do you want to see who the next winner would have been? Because if you keep entering, This could be you too. And it is Ricky. Hey, Ricky, you could have won, but you didn't. Sorry about that, buddy. Right? So that's the fun of gambling. That's why we do it over and over again. So, hey, man, how you doing, buddy? You doing
man,
good?
I just finally got over my hangover from Gasparilla. I'll tell you that. Gasparilla was fantastic. Yar, to say the least. We got to go to one of the good fraternity brothers was able to hook us up with tickets to the Captain Morgan tent for Gasparilla.
Okay.
So we had all you can eat, all you can drink, our own private viewing area of the parade from where we were at. It was awesome. And
you feel like you prefer that versus like throwing up on the street, or
100%. Well, when you get your nice old private grassy area to throw up in, it's just better than getting bumped into while you're doing it, or just lean over the rail into the bay, as a true pirate would. Like, you don't do it where you stand, you do it into the bay where people are swim at.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day. I lived in Tampa for 6 years and never got to attend a Gasparilla.
That's a shame you didn't get to make it to that. That sucks. Well, when you come back, you just have to make that an event when you come back here and do it. And then you can plan ahead.
But that's what I've said every year. So, your determination wanes, especially as the weight of a hangover increases.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the older you get, the harder those motherfuckers hit. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, but it was fun all around. We got to I didn't even know there was multiple, like all the major beverage companies. There was, I think Smirnoff was there. They had one. There was a whiskey company that was there, another vodka one, another rum company. Like, each of them had their own private tent and viewing area. Tickets were like $400 for these things too, to get in there to have them. So it was nice to have that. Yeah. So it was like
the fat.
The fat. It was. I'm glad we got it too, because I can't do it any different now. That was awesome. And then we went out to like McDenton's.
You never go back.
That's right. We went out to like McDenton's afterward, and then even McDenton's out in the parking lot, they had Red Bull tent sponsorship set up. So like, this thing has grown huge, even bigger now than what it was before, with like a bunch of companies getting involved now.
There's something to be said for like a grassroots movement. Like when you see, not that Red Bull is grassroots because they advertise like crazy, but it made me think of Bang, and Bang is everywhere. Bang energy drinks, and what they did to counter Red Bull and Coca-Cola is they went to they targeted a couple college campuses, went to them, dumped a bunch of empty Bang cans in the trash cans, and then like just dumped all their money into pretty girls handing out bangs and promoting small influencers on Instagram.
Yeah, the first time I saw Bang was at Okeechobee Music Festival. When you would leave the festival area, they had Bang Energies ready to go, like stacks of them, and you just grab one. Which is funny, they didn't have one when you were coming in. They were like, "Oh no, you want to continue partying? Drink this," and just keep on going.
Dude, I'll tell you what, Bang is the only energy drink I can drink that doesn't give me a crash.
It was definitely, I was drinking too many of them for a little while and had to stop because then they just weren't doing anything for me. So I was like, all right, got to slow down on that one. But it is nice just to have that all these energy drink companies are coming out with zero sugar energy. That is nice that we could do that now.
I mean, you're just substituting one. That's what I'm saying. It's not like Bang has anything special in it. It's not good for you. Like the Celsius ones suck ass. Like, here's the deal. I'm coming to you for artificial energy in the first place. I don't know how much your organic stuff's going to help. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I definitely see the difference when I drink like a Monster Energy full of sugar and everything comparative to that. I don't feel as crappy afterwards.
No, for sure. I mean, just the point I'm trying to make is like, hey, the best vitamin is a good diet. The best way to spread the news, grassroots. Hey, make this podcast like herpes and share it with a friend. You know what I'm saying?
This video quality is like herpes.
Well, hey, Hey, that's all right. We'll get that fixed. Everything in good time, brother. Hey, you like my background? Like I said earlier, it looks like a cubicle, right?
Yeah, so did mine. That's why I was like, I got to spice things up a little bit around here.
Yeah, I'm going to be spicing it up next week. Kind of like this beard. I've been growing this beard out. You like that
You've been
beard?
getting it out there. Yeah, you've been getting a nice little beard out there. Well, you're in Texas now. You got to start blending in with everybody.
Yeah, you know that feel. What is it? You know that feeling when you you ever get that feeling?
So you're going to have a baby cow in the backyard.
I think that's against my HOA.
Well, I mean, you could just steal them. Runs in the family.
Hey,
should be fine.
You know what is not against an HOA?
I don't know. What's not against the HOA? Seems like everything is. What is it? A quail? So there's quails probably everywhere out there, right?
I don't know. Saw it on TikTok. They're virtually silent. They're not a chicken. And they produce as much, if not more eggs than a chicken.
Really? Quail eggs? Quail egg. Never had a quail egg.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like probably pretty good. And Leo,
welcome to the party, buddy.
What's up, big dog? I mean, big cat. I mean, you look very slim, son. You're looking great.
We got him on a diet, kind of. Then he gets mad.
Yeah, right. That's Jelly Beans. That's exactly where he's at right now.
He starts meowing, just like he knows it's coming up, so he starts meowing to try to get it a little bit earlier.
Yeah. That's why I went with the automatic feeder.
I even have an automatic feeder. The thing is, I do the automatic feeder, and there you go, buddy. As long as you're, I guess, not in the way.
Good boy. Good boy.
I got the automatic feeder, but I just feed him wet food too. So I give him like a mix, and he always likes that wet food. And he starts back.
I don't do that shit because I don't want them expecting handouts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was told by the doctors it's a good idea to have a mix with it. So I was like, all right, whatever. I've just had to go through a couple to find one that he likes.
I don't know, man. Those vets, I'm suspect. They're always saying stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I haven't gotten to the point where they're like, it's going to cost this. I haven't gotten to that point yet. So once I start getting to that point, then I'm like, hey, Leo, I love you.
Yeah, I just had that point last week.
I'm going to need you to toughen up. Going to need you to toughen up.
It was, yeah, because we didn't put him out last week because of Loki and the event stuff, man. I was kind of intense when he's here. He's doing good. He's put on probably close to 10 pounds in a week.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, dude's going to be a hoss, man. I picked him up and I'm like, yo, you're 4.5 months and you're already like 40-something pounds.
Yeah. What do you think of all this stuff going on up in Canada?
What's going on in Canada?
A lot of the trucking industry people are and farmers are blocking up the city, the capital city, and like the DC basically of Canada.
They're fight for freedom. They're convoy.
Yeah, they're all coming together and like, hey, we just want to be heard, but this is the only way to do it. And then as soon as that truck started getting closer, whatever the Canada emperor guy's name is, he's like, oh, I didn't get it COVID.
You uncultured swine.
No, America, bitch. We have presidents because they're present. He did it. He's like, I was around somebody with COVID, but now I don't have COVID. I tested negative, but I'm going to quarantine now for a couple weeks. Right with the truck.
It was his kid.
People were coming in for it. But they've been like, the media's been trying to like make it like, oh, well, not saying there's violence is inciting violence. And although they keep interviewing cops and the cops are like, yeah, this is fine. There's nothing going on here.
Yeah.
They're like sufficient enough to take care of themselves in their trucking industry. And like people are shipping in food and everything for them to take care of them. They're like all the businesses, like they're like, some are denying business, but then a lot of others are keeping themselves open and like nothing's happening. There's no riots happening. And think too, you have a bunch of truckers and stuff. No one wants to go there and cause a problem. because I'm sure a lot of those people probably have something in the backseat. Like if they wanted to really start something, could probably take care of it.
Baseball bat, damn sure, and a gun.
Sure is a gun probably back there.
Not in Canada, bro.
Why not in Canada? You don't think a lot of these people have guns in their cars if they needed to have it? It's Canada. It's truckers. It's farmers. It's better than a baseball bat.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, like, how fast can you reload that hunting rifle?
Man, I don't know. I could literally walk into America through the woods in Canada, buy a gun, come back, and probably be fine. I could probably sneak. They could probably easily sneak stuff back and forth across the border like it's nobody's business.
Probably
they start blocking the border
from the crux of the conversation now. I think it's fine, man. I mean, it's kind of silly that it seems like you have like once again, the really far and whatever fucking direction that's considered, people leading it, because there's Nazi and Confederate flags on the back of a lot of these trucks, not a lot, some of them. And so,
well, not Canada.
Whatever message. Yeah, in Canada.
Not in Canada. They don't have that up there. Or at least not.
Yeah, no, right?
Maybe they have a different version. I don't know.
No, sure shit. I saw it on Reddit. I saw it multiple times on Reddit. And I don't even have on Reddit my things turned off for news because I just, But sometimes I'm like, it finds a way to my feed. So, I mean, they want to be heard. Let it be heard. I mean, Canada is.
But the fact that even like the politicians, a lot of because they had the conservative politicians, they're like, they're not doing anything wrong. They're literally just outside and they want to like be heard about the situation. Because what happened was that they were forcing at first truckers had to provide, they had to get the vaccine, right? So then a lot of the truckers most of the truckers did get the vaccine. But then they were like, they pushed it even further that goes, oh, now if you go across the border and come back, not only do you have to have the vaccine, you have to get tested negative. And they just kept adding on. And then the truckers got pissed. They're like, you're already limiting us as it is. And now you keep adding more on top of it and more mandates. And they just got tired of it. And they're like, hey, we can bring things to a halt, which there's even been talks with DC happening with that happening now. I think the Biden administration has already been, from what I read recently, I think New York Times said it, like they've actively been trying to like come up with a plan to stop trucks from coming into DC to do it.
To stop trucks from coming in, like semi trucks? Yeah,
like semi trucks, what they did, because they literally have brought that city, the capital city, to a halt in Canada because nothing can get in or out now. Like if you can't get the supplies coming in or out, it's just going to bring things to a halt. And at some point you have to listen to them. If the cops are even saying like, yeah, they're not doing anything wrong. Like we can't stop them if they're not doing anything wrong. And then even the tow truck companies have turned against them. They're like, the government started going after the tow truck companies that started tow them. And then the tow truck companies started going, oh, sorry, we got COVID. We have to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
So they're literally there until like something happens. I've been following this and it's just been awesome to watch, just seeing both sides coming at it of like, something that is as simple as like a truck, combine a whole bunch of them together and they actually become a serious problem.
Yeah, no doubt, right? I mean, when you think about like, even if someone brake checks, it causes like a little bit of a traffic jam on an interstate. You know what I'm saying? Like if they just stop for like, even until the police get there and just start the truck right back up and keep on going, you just do that enough times in that snow, it creates a real fucking problem.
Yeah. And they did it at the border. So they stopped it at the border too. So not only at the border going back and forth to slow that business down, they also did it in the Capitol. So they're literally just going until like you have to like listen to us at some point.
Well, I mean, it's silly that, this is what it's turning into, right? Like people's voices need to be heard because they're probably making very reasonable demands, assuming like knowing the population. Like I have a friend in Australia, for example, and she said the country has now validated like a 98% vaccination rate, which is freaking incredible. Like, good for them, right? Or fuck them. I don't know what I think. So the crazy part is that on January 12th, they were supposed to have a Freedom Day where all this was supposed to end. Like, people were supposed to come out, go about their life again, and it's just kept going. So at some point, it does turn into this. Like, this is where you start to see the power grab, where the government's like, no, we got to do this, we got to do this. And all this red tape just starts circling around the jugular of everyone's lives.
They don't want to lose that power they got now. They're like, oh, wait, like, we got this. We can make things happen to go our way if we wanted to. And especially if they got 98%, like, hey, you got to what you wanted. Now you should be opening things up and freeing things up.
Yeah, I mean, well, when people say, like, power, I think there's something, like, you can articulate that slightly different, where it's like when your friend tells you, hey, I want to open a business. Because we've all heard that before, whether it's someone wants to get a crazy idea in their head and think that selling knives is a good idea, or whether they want to open up their own bakery, whatever the fuck. And you go, hey, I don't know if that's the best idea for you. That comes from really good intention.
Yeah.
But the end result is you're actually hurting and holding that person back. So it's like the government is really in a shitty position where they want the best for everybody, but what just so happened, especially in America, is that most of the general population are fat, out of shape, and very at risk for diseases. So the intelligent people that are fit and in shape are like, what the fuck? And the government really does want to help. They want to keep most people alive. And with this vaccination, there's enough evidence that supports that it unequivocally works. The vaccine does work, just like the flu shot does work. Unequivocally, categorically cannot deny that. But then you back it up and you go, okay, at what detriment? What are the side effects? How many people can be expected to get blank, blank, blank? Why aren't we releasing the data behind why this was like a mandated vaccination?
I think they got themselves backed into a lot of contracts too. Like, they're kind of like by the balls. These vaccination companies got the government by too.
Oh, hard.
Oh,
dude, it's like a South Park episode when you're
the guy calls fourth vaccine now. They're like, we should have this on they had the CEO on like the news media, and he was like, oh yeah, we should have these ready to go now on a yearly basis. Like, what? Like, this is supposed to end. This is supposed to be done after one, maybe a couple boosters. And then now they're like, oh yeah, natural immunity is actually stronger than that. But the problem is, like you were saying, half of America is unfit and unhealthy. They couldn't even survive probably, like, to try to go through the natural immunity. I went through COVID a couple of weeks ago. I gotta say, it was definitely a worse feeling than it was the first time around. It's just a new variant, but like the first time it was interesting. I didn't lose like taste and smell and things this time. So there wasn't like after effects. It was just like a bad flu I had to go through over a weekend, and then it went away.
Yeah, I didn't lose any of my taste or smell when I had it, but it did feel like I got punched in the side of the head a couple times.
I did get pretty far on some PlayStation. That was nice. I hadn't played PlayStation in a long time. I was like, you know what? Some positive out of this here. Like it was kind of like my body going, hey buddy, hey, we know you got a schedule. We know. Just press the button, pick it up, order some pizza, maybe an apple.
Oh,
you'll be fine.
Damn, dude, you guys got me half-mast. I can't remember the last time I just got to sit down and just game. Just uninterrupted.
I've been getting some Fallout 4 in recently. Christy got me the PS5 for Christmas. Woo woo! Yeah, so I've been heavily enjoying that. That has been awesome. The PS5, and then the got that, and then like the last time I played like Call of Duty was PS2, which was like the World War II games, and then they had like all these like modern ones, Modern Warfare, things like that. And I saw one that came out most recent. It was like, oh, Call of Duty Vanguard. And I didn't think about what I was buying. I didn't look it up. I was like, oh, this is the newest one. Would love to play some Modern War, like fair type of thing. And then I start playing it, and it's the newer version of the World War II. So I just basically started back over where I was at, but that was awesome. You catch any football lately?
I did, but I want to finish that point. Abby almost fucked up and got me the virtual reality thing, the Oculus.
Ooh.
I'm glad she told me, because she was like, I mean, you would have enjoyed it, right? And I was like, here's the deal. Because she's well aware console is not allowed in this house. I mean, it is, but it's like, hey, let's just go ahead and burn everything to the ground. That's what that would do. That would just burn everything.
Imagine though, you're like, I'm gonna take a day off, take a tab, goodbye.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you want to go to any festival? Go to any festival. You put on like one of those vests while you have the Oculus on, and the vest just feels like people are bumping into you. Every now and then you get like a shove, like someone like coming through the crowd.
Just to make it real, maybe strangle me a little bit, and then the bottleneck of what is EDC.
Yeah, like that bottleneck, you just start getting the thing starts getting tighter and tighter on you. And then you start sweating. It like spritz water on you.
Consider the amount of drugs that we were on. I feel like we handled that really well.
We did great. I mean, it's because we were pros. We knew what we were doing. There was other people in the crowd that did not know what they were doing and were not having a good time at all.
You ain't wrong about that. You ain't wrong about that.
There were some people wanting to break out fights and all kinds of stuff. And it was just bad timing for what was happening. But you just think that would have been...
There's some kind of correlation between like the more time you trip, the more easygoing you are. But I thought about that thought. That's just also factually inaccurate. I know plenty of people that have probably done too much acid and they're too wound up. I
thought about times where I thought about like, oh, I'll be good. And then like it just went in a different direction. I was like, oh, that's right. I don't have control really over this. Like I have to go with the situation, which makes me learn like, oh yeah, like as an analogy of life, you just don't have really control of what is going on around you. You can just have control about kind of your decision making a little bit of where you're going.
But it's the thing that you can't control, and like in practice, that's like the hardest thing to do is like really understand. The more you control the things you can control, the more certainty you'll have in life.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, waking up in the morning, I can't control my morning routine. I can't control, what I do to start my day. I might not be able to control a couple of my clients flying off the fucking ringer, just totally uncalled for. But I can't control my first thought. I can't control my second. So when you control the things you can't control, it creates a certainty in your life, a confidence in your life that allows the things you can't control to just roll.
Well, I think it also comes down to like adapting, like being able to adapt to your situation, right? Like you get up, right, and for your day of work, but then like you plan for like a beautiful day to, take the motorcycle instead of the car. But then all of a sudden, and you plan to like see this client because of this situation with the motorcycle and show off your motorcycle. Now it's going to rain, but you still want to see the client. I got to take the car. Like it's just being able to adapt to the situation too, that you have of like, okay, you can control certain things. Like I woke up, I got out of bed. You can control that. But then like basically outside of what your perimeter is of your home, you lose control of a lot of situations basically after that, but learning how to adapt to that situation. I find that a lot when I'm at a music festival. Things are constantly changing and you're just adapting to what's going on around you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like drugs in general, isn't it?
A lot of times, yeah.
Yeah. Now, to the point of football, man, that was a fucking heartbreaker of the Bucks.
Yeah.
That was, there was an octave that came out of me when I was squelching, if that's a word, when Tom Brady threw that comeback touchdown. We tied it up. And to see that field goal go through the uprights, I was like,
it was an interesting thing to watch when it was taking out of his hands, the situation, just like,
it was like very symbolic, wasn't it? It was football saying, hey, you did it. You got your game-time, game-winning drive. You got your last moment where you did everything you could do. Let me snatch this from your jaws.
By the LA Rams. Oh, and as a Buccaneer, you had like a full year to appreciate playing in your own stadium for the Super Bowl. And it was never happened before. And I was like, oh, now it's going to happen again. The odds of that happening. But you know what? I hope now Joe takes it all the way.
Me too, man. I mean, you'd love to see Sean McVay win one because that's a badass coach.
Or Matt
Especially
Stafford.
Matthew Stafford.
Coming from Detroit, I saw a beautiful meme. Beautiful. And it showed a picture of Matt Stafford and Eminem going to the Super Bowl as the closest Detroit Lions will ever make it to the Super Bowl.
It's true. It's true. I mean, yeah, I'm happy either way. I think Joe Burrow has rallied his team around him in a way where they're really riding high on confidence. But
I swear he doesn't even have confidence. I swear to God that he just came into LSU and was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw the ball around, run a little bit, and let's just see where it goes at this point. That's what his attitude reminds me of. Like the way he just keeps his composure coming in and out. He's like, we might win. I don't know. We'll find out.
He's a thug, man. He's straight up. I think Sean McVay outcoaches the Bengals, though. I don't see it being close.
Well, they've got to have their defense has to do good, right? They have one of the best defenses, though, that front. But if Joe Burrow and them can learn to dump it off quick, those Brady dump offs, they pretty much negate that front 3 or 4 that you got that are just.
What do you give the score? What do you give it?
I think it's going to be 27-30.
I'm going to go 34-17.
34-17? Rams or Bengals?
Rams.
I'm going to go Bengals. They're going to get the field goal at the end.
Yeah, you'd love to see that, right? There's just 2 stories here. Sean McVay, man, he got outcoached by the Patriots the last Super Bowl 9-6, and
for being such a young, fresh, head coach, it was like, oh, all these great ideas, fresh ideas worked until you got to Belichick, and Belichick was like, sit down, boy.
I know, right? It's like, here's the boss level.
Welcome to the real show.
Yeah, man. I think that's going to be awesome. So things I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the guests we're going to have coming up. I think we have a really fun vein that we're about to explore with the show, going down, busting into the psychedelic space, redoing this. So I haven't shown you what I'm going to do to the wall back here, so it'll be kind of a cool reveal thing.
Are you painting it? I'm going to guess. Are you painting it? Like you're going to put a mural up there?
I'm not doing a mural, but I am painting it.
You are painting it. Okay.
So I actually designed it. It involves I got some painter's tape over here for a guide.
That'll help. It's the entire thing is just painter's tape. It's not. You're not going to draw it.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm going to do. It's just straight painter's tape. Actually, it's kind of retro trending.
We don't do paint because we want to save the environment. We just do the painter's tape.
Yeah. We're going to upcycle our highlighters and pull them apart, sniff them, and throw them on a wall.
I'm flying out there tomorrow.
You got it, buddy.
Making it happen. Dude, I'm excited for Tool next week. Yeah, dude, I've wanted to see Tool for like, I don't know, going on 4 years now. I was going to see him twice in 2020, and then the world said not that this time.
I know, man. Yeah, because I really want to go to Bonnaroo, but at the same time, I just don't see it happening this year. You know?
I don't think it's happening this year, which is what the other things we're trying to do. I'm doing Miami Music Week. I'm doing Okeechobee. I'm doing Miami Music Week. And the group I'm going with are, imagine you, but like 8 of them, you know?
I wouldn't do it.
I did it for Ultra, and that was, I've matured enough to be like, oh no, we're taking a nap. I'm taking a nap. You can go. Y'all can keep going. I'm going to go take a nice nap and be ready to go here. They told me buy this ticket, and then I bought that ticket and then looked at what time, and it was like 5 a.m. entry. Like, oh, damn it.
Entry, 5 a.m. entry.
Entry. Yeah. So it's going to be.
Who wants to do that?
It's because Ultra's that weekend. So like there's the after parties that just keep going and going and going throughout the night. And like DJs are playing 24/7 in Miami Music Week. So it's literally just a nonstop week of music. So I'm going to pace myself for sure on this one.
Well, we got Burning Man to look forward to. So we got to figure out the details. I think I have it in my calendar, but yeah, we'll have to figure out how to snag some of those tickets. I think you're good as long as you get in there within like the first 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll be fine on that. I'll be at the first day of Miami Music Week. So I'm just going to focus on getting those tickets while I'm there for that. Mm-hmm. We're just really going to have to figure out like the RV life and stuff, you know, that we need to get. We do need to figure that out as we get closer. I guess the first step.
I didn't know you could take your own vehicle and park it right next to your spot. You just can't drive around in your own vehicle.
Yeah, why wouldn't you've seen videos? Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
I've always just seen the crazy cookie stuff. I thought I don't know what the fuck I thought, but gives us options.
Yeah, woo! God bless you. You die, nothing happens.
I can turn that off. I mean, it's like there's a sound barrier. No one hears nothing.
Glenn, if you could like put a random sound over that'd be great.
No, don't do that.
Please. Yeah, we got to just plan on our first step, get tickets, right? By the way, everybody, our first time to Burning Man. We've never been to Burning Man, so we're working through it with you guys, basically. So any tips and tricks out there, life tips here can help us out. Got to get a bike for it, outdoorsy.
Where's the orgy tent?
Where's the orgy tents? I'm actually using Outdoorsy for the New Mexico trip, so I'm going to see how this platform works on it. I guess you don't. I got a camper van, like a Sprinter van.
Okay.
For it. So, but it turns out, I guess you don't, I guess because Outdoorsy is based out of New York, the law with New York doesn't allow them to provide insurance through the platform. So you have to have your own insurance already to rent through their platform, which my car insurance has rental insurance through them. But I just thought that was, something I learned on that, hey, make sure you have your own insurance.
My insurance is covers apparently up to 26-foot fucking U-Haul. So it's also state to state, because when we called the Geico people, he was like, yeah, I mean, he's like, try not to have a wreck in Florida. He's like, you're in a gray area, but you should be good. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, well, Louisiana, you're definitely good. Texas, for sure.
Remember the Cruise America guy when we talked to him and we were asking about the shirts? He's like, it's my second day here, guys. I don't know. Just go away. Like, all right.
Yeah, the guy literally had no answers.
No answers. He was going down the check.
I don't know. Press it. Find out.
Yeah, he was like, oh, that lock doesn't seem to work. Well, hopefully you don't need to go in there. Anyway.
No, sure. He's like, let's leave that shut.
It was like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine with it. But yeah, we got to figure that out. Hey, Jelly Bean.
I'd like to show off my domestic medium hair.
Domestic.
El Jelly Beano.
How did Jelly Bean do with a dog? Like, was he pretty?
Fucking handsome.
Yeah, fucking handsome. He's like, hey, Dad, I was cool with Triton. We got it figured out. No problem. Hey, what the? What is this beast? What is this beast?
Yeah, he was cool with Triton after like a month. I think we're about a month in now, and he slept in the bed with us. So for anybody that can't see, all of you, Jelly Bean is my cat. If you haven't been with us a very long time, he's everything you would hope a cat named Jelly Bean would look like. And we just recently got a German Shepherd, so he's figuring out, you know what? Maybe I'm not the alpha. So that's cool. It is crazy, man. Because Jelly Bean,
how the turns have tabled.
Oh, dude, so hard. He'll gatekeep the door to the bedroom. So I go into the master bedroom, and Jelly Bean's sitting at the door, and the puppy gets all excited, but he's like, man, I don't want to get fucked up by Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean's like, come on, play it. Come into the room.
Come on, play it. Make it happen. Triton's just hiding in the corner. Triton's in the corner watching. I'm like, oh, man. Something's about
more brave than Jelly Bean. Triton gets up there, get some love. He'll hang out all day, and he's like, nah, man, I'm getting up in that bed. I ain't worried about this puppy.
Is the puppy sleep in the bed too?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've got all the animals in the bed.
Oh, yeah. Well, the cats, I mean, they're hit or miss, but low-key, I mean, he's still a puppy, so it's cool, but he'll hop out of the bed. Like, if he wants to stretch out, he hops down. It's just... That
Roomba is working overtime.
No, we ain't got a Roomba. I fucking hate those things.
You hate the Roombas? I love them. Just run it. Picks up so much.
You're working from home now, and you still like a Roomba?
Yeah, man. I just like towards the end of the day, I just press the button, picks up all the cat hair and everything all over the place. It's beautiful.
You're just slamming into walls all day.
I know. It actually, if you watch it, it does learn. If you move things, it will slam every now and then into something because it doesn't remember it. But once it hits it, once it comes back to it, it'll slow down as it gets to it because it remembered like, oh, this is not something like a path I want to go or I'm going to run into it. It does like learn. I know it's sending my information back to someone in India that's like, oh, this is how this guy's house is laid out. But like,
for sure.
But I'm like, hey,
really care. It's just that noise, droning, Bluetooth, 5G. What are the buzzwords can we throw in here? Right.
Speaking of 5G, did you see the market dip down for a little bit? That nice Bitcoin. Did you buy some? Did you get some?
Oh, dude, man, I lost like 30, 40 grand in this market crash.
Yeah, but did you buy more?
I haven't deployed more assets because, like liquid, I'm kind of at that threshold. Not really. I have more assets I could deploy, but like, you don't want to overextend yourself. You know what I'm saying? And
I get that. Yeah.
Kind of where I'm at. Like right now, $1,000 is probably worth like 4 or 5. So I'm going to throw some more money around. But you don't want to get in a position where this goes out for another 2-3 years and you're still waiting for it to come around.
That's true. So, yeah, I get that 100%. Little house
at the bottom, but I'd rather buy on the way up. You know what I mean?
Depends on the situation. So just dollar cost average, just do that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm looking at.
I little house update. I've had like I thought there was termites underneath my house because I went underneath there when I was fixing stuff and I saw the trail. I was like, signs of termites. I was like, oh, that is not what I want. And I have termite stuff all around my house to protect it. And I had him come out and go underneath. And it was funny. He comes out and he was like, oh yeah, I was under this house a few years ago and I got stuck underneath your house.
Really?
I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, if you actually go to the far end of your house, the dirt level starts getting higher, but you don't notice it because it's a very gradual thing. And then I tried to turn around and I couldn't. He's like, I had to have a buddy pull me out from underneath there. But anyway, he went underneath there, and then he was like, oh, so what you have in there is like markings from previous, like years ago, from the termites. And what, because I thought I saw a termite in there, like a baby one. And he goes, what you saw was like a big head ant in there.
Right.
And he goes, it's actually like a weird way. It's a good thing the ants are there, because if the ants are there, the termites aren't there, because they would just destroy the ants. There would just be a termite war ant battle underneath your house. That would be pretty cool. And so he goes, we'll just treat your lawn. So I'm going to have him treat my lawn. But one thing that I have, like the crawl space, and I have like all these holes to provide ventilation. And so I had someone come out and inspect the house, and they're going to stop up all these spots to get into the house to like where, like, cause I was like walking outside my door the other day. Right. And the siding has like, turns out has like a space, like an inch space underneath it to go up into the siding. And the guy mentioned, he's like, oh yeah, for whatever reason, we don't know. That's just the way they made houses back in the day. They didn't like put a gap there. I don't know if that was just because they thought ventilation was good. I walked outside my house the other day, and like a snake was like crawling like along the porch. It was just a brown snake. So I went to grab it, and then like it goes right up into the siding of my house. It's like, oh.
Really?
Don't like that. So the guy came out and he was like, yeah, like that. You get critters and stuff all up in there. Like, and then like they got to put a mesh around all the ventilation holes. So, and they're gonna put like a new door on my thing. And I was like, so what is this going to run me? And he was like, $1,800. And I was like, all right. And I thought about like how much, since I did the tile and how much time that took me and the amount of bullshit that took me, I was like, I ran through my head how much time this would take me to go through all it. Like they're going to get on the roof and even plug up the filtrate, like I guess, whatever. There's stuff on the roof, you know, that goes out. They're going to plug those up so stuff doesn't get in there too. And I was like, actually, that sounds like a great deal, man. Let's just go ahead and do that.
Right. Yeah.
So they're going to come out on Friday. We're going to see what that's all about.
Dude, I just had a really interesting, let's call this the $400 shower. Okay.
Okay.
So you remember how my dishwasher was a whole experience with the $400 light switch?
Yeah.
So, you know, I call my brother, contractor, I call my buddy Carl, a master of everything, anything. And for the fucking life of me, can't figure out, you know, what's up. Fixed micro shower, plenty of hot water in there. Cannot figure out my shower. And so I call, finally break down. I mean, I've been dealing with lukewarm, the hottest lukewarm water for 2 months. I'm just like, I don't want to spend this $400. So call a plumber out. He takes a look at it. It's not the plumber. It's like a guy that works for the plumber, right? As it always is. And the guy like said he's been doing plumbing for 40 years, looks at the part. He's asking me what the brand is. I'm like, dude, I don't fucking know. He's like, well, it's tough for me to replace the part. The owner's on the phone telling him what the problem
doing all
is.
Like a new salesman just going by like, this is what they train me to do and say.
Dude, I mean, like, but he's 40 years into the business, and he calls a plumbing supply company, tells them to diagnose the issue. I'm like, bro, I can do all the same shit you're doing. So anyway, he pulls out what's called it's like a capacitor, but for a shower for plumbing. I mean, it's a cartridge. It's a pressure blend valve. And so it's the thing that mixes your hot and cold water. And long story short, I was like, hey man, I'm pressed for time. I told the guy not to come in the first place, and he came. So I didn't feel bad being kind of rude and being like, yo, I gotta go work, you know what I'm saying? And then in the process of him thinking he needs to replace this $100 piece, charge me $300 for labor. I figured out it was the fucking safety stop for scalding water. It just like, there was a sleeve on the thing that came off that I didn't know you could take off. Once he took that off, I was like, oh, okay, I see how this works. I figured it out. And this motherfucker was about to go through the whole process. I was like, yo, I would have been
So you paid $300 or $400 basically for him to show you that.
I didn't pay jack shit. It was a free estimate.
Oh, it was a free estimate, and then he told you what was going to need to happen, and then you're like, oh, okay, actually I'm good, and then you just went and did it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would have had the guy do the work if I thought I didn't have an emergency water shut off at the street. He's like, no, for sure you do. And so I went out there, he showed it to me. I was like, all right, cool, man. So I'll get with the owner to get you back out here. And he goes, okay. So I started walking away. He's like, what, no tip? And I was like, excuse me?
That's what the guy, no way.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, yo, if you're going to be the guy coming out here, I was like, I'm going to give you a tip then, but not right now. And then it was just so confronting. Like I couldn't even be that upset in the moment. And then I sat with it and I was like, fuck this. So I called the owner and I was like, hey man, like rather than giving you some kind of shitty review, like I'd rather just tell you man to man, like that's fucking hurting your business. And he was like, yeah, really, really appreciate that feedback. So anyway, that's my highlight experience.
Oh man, I would have. You were a lot calmer than I was. I would have done that with the owner too, but you were a lot calmer with the guy in itself.
Well, like when you got a million things going on, I didn't even have the mental bandwidth to be able to deal with any of that. You know? Mm-hmm. So anyway, those are my stories. That's what I'm sticking to it. What do we have next week? We have some special guests I want to announce, but we
got to figure that out because if you're going to be, what's your schedule next week? Because I have 2 mics here. If we got to do it,
we could potentially. Yeah. I'll share my flight info with you. Well, hey guys, if you like what we're up to, please share this with a friend. Don't share it with a friend. That's not cool. But share this episode and tag us on Instagram. Take a screenshot of wherever you're at. And tag us for right now. It's at Dylon Wooden and at Colton DM.
At the moment, that's on me. I will be fixing that here soon. But congratulations to John Lindy on the Magical Butter Machine. We're going to have a new one shipped to you with a whole bunch of other products in there. And don't miss the next one, folks. It's going to be good.
Peace.
Peace.